Greetings, loved ones. In an effort to help everyone understand how our economic system works, I have designed a little education for you. Check it out. So, the way our system works is anytime we sell a key, we take 50% of the money and we use it to place buy orders on the open market, so that way our keys always have a high and stable value. I wanted to use some examples here. So, bringing it back for simplicity's sake to $1 a key. Let's imagine that we've never sold any keys and we started selling them at $1, right? So based on our current regulations, every time we sell $5,000 worth of keys, we increase the price by a penny. So, all right, so we get $5,000 in, we give out 5,000 keys, and then we take $2,500 to place buy orders. We place some of these buy orders at 70% of the rate that we sold them at. So that would be $0.7 per key. So we take $500 and we use them to place buy orders at $0.7 at the key. And now we have 714 buy orders waiting and ready to buy anyone's key who wants to sell them for 70 cents each. We do that same thing at 60%. We take $500 and we place buy orders at 60 cents each, and we place 833 of those. We do that at 50 cents, 40 cents, and 30 cents. And we place a total of 5,463 buy orders this way. That means if every single person who just bought a key wants to sell them, they can. And we can buy every single one of those. Plus, we can give out 463 more keys to anyone we want for working with us. And those people can sell their keys too. And we'll have money to cover all of it. So, but the whole name of the game here is actually that people can sell their keys for more than they bought them for. So we just zoom over here to the next 1,000 keys we sell. We're now placing buy orders at $7 at 70 cents, 0.7 cents. So there's just a very slight increment in these buy orders here. But then we'll take a jump here in this example and say, okay, so we sold $500,000 worth of keys, or actually a whole $1 million worth of keys. And now keys are $2 on the key. So now we sell 5,000 more. We give out 2,500 more keys. We place $2,500 into buy orders, and we put $500 worth of buy orders at $1.40, and we place 357 of those. So now, as someone who came in when keys were $1, now that we're selling keys for $2, you can sell your keys for $1.40, or $1.20, or $1 if a whole bunch of people want to sell at this particular time. Or if a lot of people decide to sell out at this point, it will go back down to these orders are at 60 cents. So maybe it even goes above $2 and it goes to $3. Now you're able to sell your keys for over $2 each. And that's the way the system works. The more people that come in, the more the price goes up. We back the orders on the market. And there might be some fluctuations, but for the most part, this will reduce the ability for our currency to fluctuate on the open market. It'll keep its value really high unless about 50% of all keys are immediately dumped, which that never happens anyway, because anyone who actually put in $1 million to get that many keys wouldn't want their keys to be worth that little money. So that's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, economic lesson part 2. So we just covered how our backing reserve mechanism adds value to our currency. Now we're going to explore how the vault holder pool and our access-based economic system adds value to our currency over time. We're going to use just one example here among potentially thousands of examples, and that's Terra Frutis, which is about 1,500 acres of land owned by my family, put into a trust for humanity, where we're growing every fruit known to man in Ecuador. So let's say 4 people choose to have a vacation stay, and they pay 600 keys. And that's the only way you can have a vacation stay in Ecuador is you have to pay with keys. You cannot pay with cash. So these people, they buy their keys at $4 each, and they put $2,400 into keys. Another group comes over, and they say, whoa, we want to lease 100 acres of this land for 1 year. And they pay 2,200 keys plus 10% of their profit to do so. They have to go buy their keys too, so they invest $8,000 into keys. That operation makes $100,000 that year, and Terra Frutis gets 7,000, and the EN Center Pool gets 3,000. Terra Frutis returns 280 keys to the EN as a 10% network sales tithing. So anytime a transaction happens in our network, other than personal sends, we get 10%. These keys will never be sold on the market since we own them again, meaning we no longer need to hold buy orders to counterbalance these keys. Because part of the name of the game that we're playing is every single key in circulation has at least one buy order, so all keys can always be sold, keeping the value of the currency high. When we get these 280 keys back, that's like getting money back for us. We no longer have to put our buy orders on the market. We can take 280 buy orders down, and now we have another few $1,000s. Or we just move those buy orders up and we make our currency even more valuable. So Terra Frutis then sells 1,000 keys for about $3,000. Terra Frutis spends the rest of the 1,600 keys on marketing and advertising services to promote themselves. The 1,600 keys are evenly distributed to 4 people working in an agency for the Earth Nation. The first person immediately sells out. They sell all 400 keys at $3 each for $1,200. The second person spends $400 and they stay for a whole month at Terra Frutis. They just get a whole vacation stay, and Terra Frutis gets more money now. Woo! And part of that money we get back. Person number 3 spends 400 keys on other services in the directory. And about 40 more keys now go back to our coffers so we can release more buy orders since we own those keys again. Person number 4 spends 400 keys for a month of rent at another eco village somewhere. And we get 40 more of those keys back into our coffers. Person number 5 just saves their keys because people do that. We save currency. Some people out there are just going to hold on to our currency for various reasons, whether they want to resell them later or they want to just hold on to it, give it to someone else, or just a lot of people die with tons of money. Some people are going to pass away with a ton of our keys, and we don't have to worry about them filling those keys and selling them on the market. So at the very end of the day from all this example, $1,400 goes into the keys pool from key sales. Another $3,000 goes into the pool from land and business trade agreements. That's $13,400 that went into our ecosystem. We use about $6,700 to place buy orders. And then people who just got those keys as part of this example go and sell some of those keys for $4,200. So they take some of that $6,700 we just put in to back the value of our currency, and they sell their keys for $4,200. Now the Earth Nation has another $2,500 in buy orders, making our currency ever more valuable than it was before this example happened. We also have another $6,700 available in our collective wealth stewardship pool. And Terra Frutis made $10,000 and cash and another $6,000 in keys. Or sorry, yeah, 6,000 keys. They're balling. We're balling. Everyone just benefited. Now we take some of this money, and that's not even counting we got like another 300 or 400 keys back into our coffers. So that's like another $1,600 worth of value we no longer have to counterbalance. So that's just like making $1,600 for us on top of that $13,000. So we take 5,000 of these newly made $6,700 that we still have left, and we put it into a community project on Terra Frutis. Now we have another place for vault holders to live. We got another little building, and we have another little building for members to spend keys for, like, instead of a vacation experience, they can just come live in like a hovel for like a key a night, really cheap. We also start producing dry fruit and young fruit trees as the little community that's on Terra Frutis now that just got funded. We sell some of these, this dry fruit and these young trees for keys, which creates another way for people to spend keys, which increases the value of our currency. And we sell some of these products for cash as well. 30% of the profit goes back into the EN Center Pool since the EN funded this group. And then people buy more keys so they can obtain our product at a discount. More money over time goes back into the EN to fund the next business to place even more buy orders. And that's just a little example of how by building out our own economic system, we can create and exchange and all benefit from consistently raising value mechanisms. Greetings. This is another case use example, number 2 of the Keyes economic system. Let's check it out. This case use example is a literal one. All facts and names stated are factual, and nothing in this case use example is based on speculation. First case use, Dakota Kaiser, me. Ugh. In the past, I used to code humanitarian systems and organize communities as the only master foreman shot caller. I used the old system to hire indentured servants in at-need situations to move my personal objectives forward. All of my operating capital I had to make myself, from using old paradigm NLP sales tactics to persuade others to further embody the cycle of consumerism and corporate greed. Now with Keyes. Now, I'm fully supported and empowered with numerous teams of people collaboratively helping me with all of my projects and plans. Instead of funding my projects myself, now I am employed and funded as my own boss. No longer do I need to focus on making money to cover my operational costs. The team I have access to collaborate with now, I could never have afforded myself. For my last year of service, on top of payroll, I now have over $200,000 worth of company equity, our Keyes. For my last, I get to live in an epic mansion estate, entirely free of charge, outside of Eugene, Oregon, with all of my meals prepared and given to me freely. I get to go on epic journey experiences to faraway lands with an amazing team of people. The most wonderful festival I've ever gone to was the Permaculture Festival because of the team we got to bring and how we got to show up for it. Best festival of my life. Next case use example, Prism Pantez. In the past, very similar to Dakota, Prism was a sole technology director who hired third world operatives to move his personal business forward. Prism had to provide for and manage all of his business operations totally alone. Prism is a writer and academy creator whose real dream is to create content to awaken humanity. Prism used to do this completely alone and self-funded. Now with Keyes, instead of Prism having to pay to develop consciousness material, now Prism gets paid to make academies and content for the new paradigm. Within 2 months of being with the EN, Prism obtained an $80,000 loan through our financial program. Prism reinvested that money into one of the EN allied crypto funds and is now making hundreds of dollars, US dollars, every day in interest. Prism gets to live in an epic mansion estate too, and also gets to go on journeys and experiences with us. Leela Starr, in the past, used to have to do seasonal migrational work every year to make the money she needs to live. Her great passion was actually seeding and spreading consciousness, but she did not have the support she needed to embody her passion. Now with Keyes, Leela will never have to trim again in her life. Leela has all of her financial expenses provided for. Leela now gets paid and has a budget for an entire team to support her in creating curriculum and structure for the new paradigm. On top of getting to live in a gorgeous mansion estate with all needs freely given and a cash payout, Leela has earned over $100,000 in Keyes or company equity in less than 1 year. In the same way that Dakota, Prism, and Leela are now fully supported in their passion working with the Earth Nation, Tuva, Daniela, Doran, Kukui, Tiana, and others are also now fully supported in their passions with the EN. So too can you be supported along with all other beings that wish to be empowered and supported while building paradise on planet Earth. Our system is so far beyond functional, ladies and gentlemen. However, we can communicate this to you, that it is so fully working for so many of us. How can we help you learn how to integrate in the system so we can fully support you for the rest of your life? Let us know. Thank you. Dakota Kaiser and the Earth Nation, Keyes economic system, case use number 3. This case use example is a literal one. All facts and names stated are factual and nothing in this case use example is based on speculation. Before Keyes, Stada.
is a humanitarian, anonymous, decentralized, autonomous organization on a mission to create artificial intelligence that supports and honors human life. After 5 years of development with over 50 developers and more than 30 outsourced agencies, Stada created a software suite capable of advertising to millions of humans a month based on keyword usage. Stada, in partnership with the ASC, developed the mechanisms through which to effectively decentralize autonomous organizations without blockchain usage. So how to take any pre-existing organization and then make it into a decentralized autonomous organization without needing blockchain technology. We made that. Stada has been seeking groups to use the software we created. Astralship is a humanitarian, decentralized, autonomous organization on a mission to build a facility where engineers, designers, makers, artists, creatives, activists, and radical thinkers can work together in a flow state uninterrupted by the outside world. Astralship has purchased 2 megalithic-sized chapels for the purpose of embodying this dream. Astralship has been seeking groups to partner with to use the space they created. After keys. Stada finally has the biggest case use example for our software. In exchange for sharing the software with the EN, Stada has received $8 million worth of equality keys. Stada is using this keys budget to further develop our software systems by hiring keys freelancers and by using EN locations to host programmers. Astralship was given $100,000 worth of keys to help purchase another chapel. Astralship is selling some of these keys to investors to gather the liquid cash necessary for purchase. Astralship is using the rest of its keys for development and expansion services from the Earth Nation. Soon to come, Stada intends to use the keys we obtained from the EN to partner with Astralship to make a Stada plus Astralship hackerspace to code solutions for humanity. A great case use example of how 2 large organizations have come together with the EN and other groups to really, really benefit a lot. Wonderful. Case use example number 4. This is a look at other organizations that are like the Earth Nation, and many of which we've already tried to partner with. So, and what are the synergy points? Why would these organizations want to partner with us? Let's get into it. So Ubuntu, the Ubuntu political movement, largest conscious political movement on the planet. The Ubuntu political party would greatly benefit from our 15,000 acres of land and eco communities to build out and expand their ideas. We could really help them ground into the world in a way they're not right now. They would also benefit from having 100 million plus yearly impressions and 5 million plus yearly unique website visits that we could send their way through our Stada technologies. The Mother Earth Nation would benefit from our media design, website creation, video creation, and animation services to give them a better front end. They would also benefit from our decentralized autonomous organizational tools for the purpose of empowering their community and enhancing their decision-making processes. They'd benefit from over $5 million in free advertising for their ICO launch from Stada. And by trading our currency together, Earth Dollar would be spendable anywhere keys are, thus making them exponentially more valuable during the Earth Dollar launch, because instead of being theoretical, they would be literal. They would also benefit from our currency integration services to make their ICO more valuable, meaning like our eco community map, our freelance directory, our Amazon store when it's out, those kinds of things. The New Earth Nation would also really benefit from everything we just talked about from Ubuntu and Earth Dollar. On a personal note, I've offered to partner with Ubuntu, Earth Dollar, the New Earth Nation, and over 100 other New Paradigm organizations. I have found that none of these groups are truly ready for the level of success on which we operate. So far, these groups have either been too afraid, too insecure, or otherwise too blocked to accept our invitation to pool resources, assets, and networks for the highest good of everyone. What do you think is up with that? I don't know. But we're here and we'll stay here. We're not going anywhere, and our offers stay on the table. We're just waiting for more people to pick it up. We've gathered so many things to share with the world, and it kind of just feels like the world is looking at us being like, what? No way. Too good to be true. I'm afraid. Are you trying to do something mean to me? And yeah, here we are. God, I would love to partner with these other organizations and others, and I hope that someday soon they wake up to realize what we have to offer them and come to step into our playing field. Case use example number 5, investors. This case use example is a literal one. All facts and names stated are factual, and nothing in this case use example is based on speculation. In the past, Kelly Kingston was one of our first investors. She gave us the Bitcoin when Bitcoin was about $3,000. She got in at 50 cents on the key. So she received about 6,000 keys. Now those 6,000 keys are worth $24,000. Kelly has almost 10 times her investment in less than 4 months. In the future, when we launch our ICO, investors will have the opportunity to make a tremendous amount of income. At our current rate of growth, for every $1 million invested, we increase the price of our keys from us by $2. This gives investors the opportunity to purchase keys and sell them for a huge increase on the open market. Here's an example. An investor comes in when keys are $4 each. This investor puts $10 million into keys. Keys from the Earth Nation now cost $24 each from the Earth Nation. The investor takes the million-ish keys they bought and puts most of them on the decentralized market for $22. Now, until those keys are sold, many people start buying keys from the exchange instead of from the Earth Nation. After the keys the investor bought are sold on the market, the investor has doubled their starting capital, making over $20 million from those keys. And they still have $2 million worth of keys left. They wait a year when keys are $100 each, and then the investor makes another $8 million selling them underneath what we sell them for. Very, very simple case use example. And the reason why we're going to keep selling keys, ladies and gentlemen, is we are continuously growing as this global community. By the way, none of these other ICOs have that. Like this ICO is built on the back of decades of community building, permaculture building, activism. And because of all this grounding we have, by creating all of these keys exclusive products, services, and experiences, and as that grows, more people are going to want to play with us. They're going to want to live at our eco villages. They're going to want to buy our products. They're going to want to come have our experiences. And if they want to come play with us, they have to buy keys, which means just more and more people are going to want keys, which is exactly the same kind of mechanism that made Bitcoin so valuable, except Bitcoin isn't back and it's going to plummet eventually. And keys won't. The keys economy and what's backing the keys economy is just going to keep growing. So get in while you can still 10 to 100 times your money, because that will not be possible for much longer. Case use example number 6. All right. Circle of children. This case use example is a literal one. All facts and names stated are factual, and nothing in this case use example is based on speculation. Circle of Children is a nonprofit organization that owns an $11 million estate outside of Eugene, Oregon that is built like a school. 6 months ago, when the Earth Nation team arrived on the grounds, everything was in disrepair. Every building had broken plumbing, mold, and filth everywhere. Completely unusable. It would have cost Circle of Children more than $300,000 to fully fix their facilities by hiring a nearby corporate agency to do so. Circle of Children didn't have the money for repairs and was in danger of being shut down and sold by the banks. They almost lost everything. Now, the facilities are fully operational and events are happening here several times a month. Hundreds of people are now benefiting from this facility. Thanks to us, our team did almost all of the work required to make this facility operational over this last half year. In exchange, the Earth Nation gets to hub out of this space as our heart quarters. The board members that run Circle of Children have joined the Earth Nation as vault holders. And over time, we intend to see this place solidify as a permanent hub for the Earth Nation by creating indefinite building use and profit sharing agreements. In exchange, Circle of Children will forever benefit from the upkeep, maintenance, and event support participation, as well as digital advertising, website development, and marketing help. Such an easy win-win-win for this nonprofit organization and the Earth Nation. The land.